Alright everybody, so I'm going to do an update on my Argentine swords. This is the sword I planted. See if I can get this thing to focus. I didn't want to focus real well. For some reason this thing is not focusing there. That's a little better. So I pulled some of the rocks back. The big leaves that it had did melt away. So I don't know if that was shock or what it was. But I do see these small little leaves. There's one right there. And there's this other one right here. There, that's growing. So I'm going to pull some of these rocks back and hopefully help those to grow, because I think maybe the rocks were making it hard for them to come up. So we'll see how that does. The two plants did melt, and I'm not sure what that was. It could have been too much fertilizer shock. You know, like if you give a houseplant too much fertilizer, their leaves will melt away and turn brown and stuff, and that's kind of what happened with these. So I'm kind of thinking that's what it was. And I'm going to give you a quick basic care of this big Amazon sword I've got. Here's one of the other Argentine swords that are not planted in soil. They seem to be doing really well. All the plants almost have added leaves, so they're doing fairly good. These guys down here are doing really good. The one kind of behind that fake casa, so it's hard to see. And of course my main plants are doing pretty good. So I'm going to give you a basic care on this big plant. I pulled it out of the water. I don't want to leave it out too far. Oops. But as you can see, it's got a pretty extensive root system, and it doesn't take these roots long to grow. I'm actually, when I transplant this, I'm going to cut some of these off because this is just too many. And these roots here that are kind of brown, these are dead, so we can trim these off significantly. And I just use a pair of scissors for this, and see these trims where these stalks have been trimmed previously. I'm going to trim those down a little bit more. And you just want to cut them off as low to the base of the plant as you can get. In this one, I'm going to take off, you see this spot right here where it's kind of browned on you? This is what happened. This is the leaf. This leaf is see-through and splitting. This plant cannot repair its leaves. So you want to cut anything off like this, because they can't repair this and they're just going to be wasting energy. So I'm going to take it and cut it off as close to the base as I can get. Just with a pair of plain old kitchen shears. And I'm going to remove it because it doesn't do the plant any good to have that there. And I'm going to check all the leaves. Cut. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. I'm going to cut this one that's previously been cut. This leaf here, as you can see, it's got a split in it. I'm going to cut this off too, because it's not going to do it any good to have it there. Like I said, it cannot repair this. So, I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to take this off, because this root here, for all intents and purposes, it's dead. If they're not white, they're generally not alive. And it doesn't hurt them to trim the dead roots off. It won't hurt the plant at all. You just want to make sure that you use a pair of scissors to do it, because you don't want to pinch them off, because you can actually damage the plant. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this one off, because as you can see, the stalk here down at the base is kind of damaged. There's got a few tears in the leaf itself, so I'm going to pull this off and cut it off. And I'm going to cut any leaf that has damage. Like this one has a clear spot. There's no point in leaving this leaf on. It's not going to get the plant will just waste energy. So, and then I got these big leaves here that have holes in them. This is actually not the plant's fault or anything I've done. This is actually my angelfish. When she breeds and lays eggs, she decides to tear holes in the leaves. And what she does is once they become wigglers, she spits the wigglers through the holes and gives them a place where they hang on. It's kind of annoying, but I'm just going to have to cut off the leaf because she's done so much damage to it. And she did it to this one, so this one has to go. Kind of irritates me when she does this. So, and this one will have to go because she's done the same thing to it. But it won't hurt this plant. You know, you can cut off these leaves and it ain't going to hurt these plants one bit. They'll just grow new leaves. And here's another leaf that has turned clear at the top. So this leaf is going to come off. Because there's no point in my plant spending energy it doesn't have. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off because you see the leaf looks alright. But if you look at the base, it's brown. So I'm going to cut this off. And this leaf is going too. And so is the leaf. This leaf is going because of this part. This leaf is completely clear. So this leaf is completely dead. There's my scissors. So we'll be cutting that off. This leaf goes too. And I do this every once in a while. I check the plants, make sure, you know, then I cut off dead leaves and leaves with holes in them. And I would normally divide a plant this large, but I think I'm going to wait. Sorry. And this one's starting to turn clear at the top, so this one's going too. And I'm going to cut some of these stalks that have previously been cut off. And cut them off a little more. It just helps the plant look a little better. So this is the plant. And these are the leaves I've cut off. So I've cut off quite a few, but it won't hurt this plant. It'll grow right back. And I think, looks like I've got pretty much everything that's damaged. Okay, then like I said, these roots, they're way too long to try to replant this. I'd be spending all damn day trying to replant a leaf, or a plant with roots this long. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut them to about, to about an inch to 2 inches off, you know, to where they're only about an inch or 2 inches long, and then the rest of these roots you can just throw away. So this is what they look like after. The root mass is a lot smaller. Because you don't want to try and plant 3-inch roots and drive you crazy. Yep. Here's another. See this stalk that's been cut off? I'm going to cut that off a little bit smaller. To where it's a little closer to the bottom like this. We don't need all that extra. It looks ugly. So, but this can probably be divided next time I pull it out. It could probably be divided now, but I don't want to do it since I've just cut off all these leaves. But I will show that next time, because by the time it gets another 3-inch roots, which won't take it very long, it'll be able to be divided, I'm sure. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to put it back in the plant. And I got a dead fish I got to take out. One of my fish died on me. One of my small fish. Honestly, I think the female angelfish beat him up to where she killed him. But it does happen, so I'm just going to remove him. And then I'm just going to plant it. I got to put the camera down for this, sorry. Thing. So, as you can see, I've replanted the plant. And that is pretty much basically how I take care of my plants. And that's pretty much basic care for... I can't speak to other plants because I've really not kept anything but this annoying Anubias, so I really don't know. But this is how I do my swords, and I've never had any problem with them. They grow like weeds, literally. Okay, I hope you like it. Bye.